Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our market update from MarketVector on crypto and macro. A lot of things happened this week, so we have some charts provided for the most important development this week, which affected the digital asset space. Of course, we have to talk about the inflation here. We had yesterday a very bad PPI print. PPI, producer prices, it's closely watched by the Fed. And as you can see here, it was much higher than anticipated. So really hot. The market initially was worried about that. But as you can see later in the charts, the market shrugged it off. And if you are honest, I think we also have to say that the inflation target of 2% for the Fed is over. And I think everybody now is getting used to that. The new neutral inflation target is likely 3%. Also, if you look at what is priced in the market and compare that to yesterday, you still see that the market expects a rate cut in September. So nothing changed here. And also market-wise, if you look at our Coin 50 index, which is our market barometer for the whole crypto market, it's the top 50 assets with a cap of Bitcoin of 50%. And so you see after breaking out of this beautiful bull flag, we broke out to new highs and are now consolidating again. So yesterday, there was some weakness with this inflation print, but you see today we are already up again. And also, I often hear that we have froth in the equity market, but I think as long as the Dow Jones Industrial Average hasn't broken out to new all-time highs, I think you can't speak of that. I think we see rather a rotation from the larger cap names to more cyclical and credit-sensitive sectors. You see that with regional banks going up. You see that with biotech. And also you see that with the home builders. So you see a broader rotation in the stock market. And that's not froth, that's rather positive, and that's normal in a bull cycle that you see a rotation to different sectors. Now, of course, we also have to talk about our sectors here. So over the last 7 days, you see that Bitcoin was relatively weak with just up over 1.16%. And you see that centralized exchanges, but also DeFi, for example, which is not only over the last 7 days, but also over the last few weeks, a relative strong performer, also with the help of the Genius Act, Stablecoin Act. Yeah, it's a revival for DeFi. But you also see our layer 1, layer 2 index, smart contract platforms, is relatively strong, mainly with the help of Ethereum. And that's really the outlier here. If we look at our Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, you see how strong Ethereum is. We have super strong inflows from the ETFs, around $2.6 billion. But also we have a lot of treasury companies, especially Bitmine and Sharplink, buying billions of Ethereum and also fight for more equity issuance, which is very supportive for Ethereum overall. And so even that's also a strong indicator, even with the inflation prints as of yesterday, you see that ETH BTC is already going up, which speaks for this crypto rally, right? No, normally you would have seen a falling Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, but not now, which is really a strong indication for this altcoin market. Or at first for Ethereum, it's not really altcoin market, that will come later, but it's a strong indication for the strength of crypto at the moment. You also see that if you look at the Solana Ethereum ratio, of course, it suffered. It's an Ethereum narrative now with all these treasury companies and the stablecoin bill. But you also see here that at the moment, Solana Ethereum ratio is stabilizing here. And so there are some rumors that we might see pretty soon a large treasury company for Solana as well. I mean, we have some, but not the likes of Bitmain and Sharplink. So if we see really a large treasury company popping up, that could also be the next leg then for this layer one rally and altcoin rally, meaning that Solana is going up again and has some strength against ETH maybe. So we have to check that. Also an interesting development. Not a lot of people are talking about that is the weakness of MicroStrategy. What you see here is MicroStrategy in relation to the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF IBIT. And you see that we have a 4-month low here. So that's an astonishing weakness for MicroStrategy, even if Bitcoin is rallying. So maybe that's due to the flows into the Bitcoin ETFs, but also maybe people are distracted with the other treasury companies, and maybe also a sign of that we are more in this next phase of a altcoin rally and less of a Bitcoin one. But overall, I would say very strong markets for risk assets. Let's see how the inflation plays out. At the moment, nobody cares. But yeah, be cautious. We have to watch. September is normally a weaker month for crypto. But at the moment, a lot of green signs for crypto. Thanks a lot and see you soon.